Good evening and welcome again to another Wafflers Wednesday. I'm John and I'm delighted to welcome Claire.
Evening.
And Ben.
Evening.
And Becca.
Evening.
To the show tonight. I hope you're looking forward to this as much as I am. This could be the quickest hour of our lives.
I know.
Are we all ready?
No.
Hopefully.
I'm
We've got
ready.
notes.
No.
I'm ready to learn something new tonight. And I think that's
Notes.
yeah. And I think that's I think what I tend to find is once you end up Claire and I start doing this, it ends up trying to top trump each other out of different information. So
Do you know what? I think tonight could be a bit of a Marmite show for people. If you're interested in being Disney geeky and nerdy, this is going to absolutely tick all your boxes. If you're not, then sorry.
It's only going to be an
Stick
hour,
with us.
so it'll be fine.
There'll be something that you don't know, hopefully, or something that you all know. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, and I think that's where everyone's got to look at this, because I think. Well, let's think about this. Have you ever looked around you? You actually speed walked to Splash Mountain, stood in that 5 a.m. queue to get a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance, or waited in the queue for Tower of Terror, and I mean really looked. One of the things that fascinates me and Claire and Ben and Beck is the things actually. It makes you sort of geek out quite a bit. And on every visit to every Disney park is all those tiny details, isn't it? Some so small and hidden that you can't actually even see them yourself, but the attention to detail that Imagineers go to when they're actually creating the story of the environment in a park is just breathtaking. It really is. So it would be so easy just not to bother, not to go to all that extra effort, but they do, and they know that most of the guests will miss it completely. And that's perhaps what sets Disney theme parks aside from so many others. So shall we have a little think and a little wander into Magic Kingdom? And let's start by looking at some of this detail, because if we start with, there's a sign in Magic Kingdom that I never tire of seeing, and it just is the most beautiful sight on you any day into Magic Kingdom, and that is that keeping dreams on track.
Yep.
And it's that lovely picture, and it's just above the train station, and it's that window that just appears below the clock, and it's that little message that. Despite all of the trials and tribulations, that's the one. The trials and tribulations we have in getting there. I know we had a Christmas one time where we got snowed out, and just the very sight of that just resonated so much. And so every time we go back again, it's just like, yeah. And that's what Disney does to me. It sort of keeps all our dreams on track. So
Before we carry on, John, should we say hello to who we've got in the comments?
Oh, do you know the comments are on fire? So that's it. Yeah, come on, Ben.
There's loads of them. Oh no, people must still haven't found something else better to do on a Wednesday.
Good. Good.
Hey, Peter and Jill.
Hey guys.
Hi guys.
Mickey Scousers.
Nice to
We've
see
got
you.
Stephen,
Thanks for joining us.
and it's not Sarah as I called her on Sunday night. It's Sarah. So
Okay.
I do apologise. Yeah. And I told Stephen I'm on my best behaviour so that when they come onto our show in the future, I'll actually manage to get the name right by that time.
No. Hi, Maria.
Hi Maria.
Yeah, got
And Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Mark. We missed Neil above there as well. Neil's managed to.
Oh yeah,
He's
hello
got-
Neil.
He
Okay,
said
I'll skip over Neil.
he couldn't find us on YouTube, and I said we are about to go live in 10 seconds. Quality timing, so I'm glad he found us.
There you are. Who else have we got? We
Got
said hello to Mark.
Got
We've
Dan.
got Dan.
Maria,
Oh,
Sunny Folk.
We'll get there.
you're
We'll
on,
get there.
Yeah.
you're on our wavelength. Colleen, hi. Nice to have you here this evening with us.
Hi, Lisa.
Lisa, mum of Big Little Chicken. Sorry, Lisa. We always have to refer to it.
Yeah.
And Valerie, nice
Hey,
to have
Val.
you with us.
No, it's good. And I think the more people get in the chat, the more you're going to drag this on tonight, because I'm pretty sure everyone's got their own little idiosyncratic thing that they notice,
Definitely.
or things that they've read about and they've not told everybody else about. That could be another one.
But
There's a
John,
lot of things.
Yeah.
John, you started with the windows on Main Street. So
Yeah.
I think most people have noticed them, haven't they? And that not, I'm assuming that most of the people in the comments tonight and people
I
who
would
are
have thought so. But you
No,
never assume. I think that's
maybe not. Maybe we go. So obviously the windows of Main Street are all decorated by the names of important Imagineers. So you pointed out the Waltz window down by the fire station. I think.
What I love about that one is if you actually read it completely, it says
Yeah,
Disney Chief Engineer.
Yeah.
I know, it's fantastic, isn't it? But some of the Imagineers are honoured by having and having their window in Main Street. Now you can actually, you wouldn't believe this. You can actually buy a book called The Windows of Main Street. I do have it. It was a gift, and it covers all of the Main Street windows from all of the parks around the world. So I don't actually need to go to Tokyo to look at whose names are on the windows. I can look at the window. I've got the book.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Excellent. You can tell me about the dentist's office in Main Street in Disneyland Paris.
It's a very cool book, but
Oh, wow.
it's so all of those windows have got really special people on them, and I think it's always nice to have a look. That's the one I always look for is Lee Cockerell's window. I have a big affinity for Lee and his amazing leadership style as ex-president of Magic Kingdom. So yeah, I always look for that one. But I think we've all got the ones that we like to look for.
Yeah, I think with Magic Kingdom, for me, it's always been the red carpet as you walk in. It's just one of those things. Walt wanted it to like lay out the red carpet as you walk down Main Street, and it's just the colour. And I didn't know something until I read about it earlier. Was that it helps characters when they're walking, they can tell by the street they're on whether they're on stage or off stage.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, because it's sort of grey on one, red when they're walking down Main Street.
But Ben, you started talking about one of my favourite Disney subjects, and this is where
Yeah.
there's no going back now, Ben. That's it.
Oh,
this
no.
is it. You've
That's it.
unleashed the beast.
Yeah.
We need to talk about concrete and pavements.
Okay, so for everyone that's sort of tuned in thinking, oh, this will be interesting.
Please don't switch off.
Please don't
It will
switch
be
off.
very interesting.
There'll be more
Oh,
stuff
it is.
apart
It
from
is,
concrete.
though. This is just fascinating, isn't it?
This is the stuff that ticks my boxes. It's just so incredible because people walk down the street. So you walk down the road and you're looking in the windows and you're looking at the people coming towards you, try not to break your ankle in the tracks on Main Street. But what you don't do is look at the floor properly look at the floor. And something that the Imagineers do when they design these parks is to really think about the flooring and the colour and all the different bits and pieces that you might see. So I think Ben's got I found him 100 photos that I've taken of concrete and pavement
There's
earlier.
quite a lot of floor.
So this picture is from Liberty Square, and I won't ruin the whole Keys to the Kingdom tour for anyone who's done it, but that brown section, because it's based in the 19th century, that would be slurry, I think is the appropriate word. It's there was lack of sanitation.
Drainage.
So,
Drainage system.
a drainage system. Thank you, Lisa, for being so open about it's the poo of Main Street. That's what it symbolises.
Yeah. But equally though, there's no toilets in that whole part of the park as well.
Correct. Yeah.
Which is
And
again an incredible bit of Imagineering, because even if you're in Cumbria Harbour House or in the Liberty Tavern, the actual toilets are that far on the external part of the actual building.
yeah.
The toilet bits actually go into a different part of Magic Kingdom, which is hilarious that they've gone to that.
This is it. And you can tell the people that have done the Keys to the Kingdom tour, because the people that jump over the brown bit, they don't walk in it. I've actually seen people do that. So thank you, Mark. It's not just me that likes the pavements. So I think it's quite interesting the way that the Imagineers really thought about what you might see in the floor in these different areas. So in Adventureland, you find bits of tile and gems. When you go over into New Fantasyland, if you look carefully, you'll find peanuts embedded in the concrete, which are obviously a sign because it's based around a big top and a circus, and peanuts would have been the traditional snack that people would have thrown shells down on the floor. So yeah, concrete. It's really interesting. I know people don't. I'm just trying to think.
It's one of those things, isn't it? It's just there's so much on the floor that you wouldn't think about.
Yeah.
I think,
and just that attention to detail. Sort of talk of
there's the peanuts.
There's
the peanuts.
Have you got a picture of Max's hooves from outside the Rapunzel toilets?
Oh,
So
I do somewhere.
This is one of my favourite details that people miss. So if you walk in the Magic Kingdom from the Haunted Mansion, where there are hoof prints outside for the ghost horses, obviously, up towards the Tangled toilets, there's lots of horses' hoof prints and shoes in the ground, but there are some that are much bigger, and they've got Maximus's name on them, which is fantastic. I love looking for his prints on the ground.
I think we've had a few people join us in the comments. We have. Let's go back. So we've got Marcus.
Hello.
Anna's late again.
Well, you can't get these friends sometimes, can you?
We got John.
Hi, John.
Hi, John.
We got Carlos. Hi, Carlos.
Hi, Carlos. Good to have you.
Yeah, there we go. We're
caught up.
Good,
yeah.
Somebody else
Lisa.
second week in a row they've managed this, so I'm really impressed. We're obviously doing something right. So
So Marcus has pointed out the floor of the Country Bear Jamboree. Ben, I think there's a photo of that as well. I sent you. I might have taken a photo of that too. The scratches.
I wonder what you meant by bare floor.
There you are. The way it was spelt should have given it away. So I sent Ben like 100 photos earlier. So it's that was one.
That's my job.
This might be quite photo heavy.
Yeah, so that's inside the Country Bear Jamboree. Little bear scratches from their claws. Oh, see, I'm not the only one who likes to look for Maximus's shoes. I think there's also bits like in Tomorrowland, the inlays of the different colours of concrete are cogs and wheels. And then when you go into Epcot, you also get those in places like Italy. You have the inlay, which looks exactly like the inlays in St. Mark's Square. So the Imagineers have really taken a lot of time to think about what you would have on the floor. And bearing in mind, this is stuff that people just walk on. They don't really look at it. They're just walking.
I think a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight is stuff that we're so busy going from attraction to attraction. We never sort of sit down with a coffee and just sort of soak in the atmosphere. And it's only then when you notice the things that we're talking about. I think that's the
important bit, isn't it? And things like over in Dino Land, where Chester and Hester's and all of that stuff is, there's actually road markings there, and then like the markings of a parking lot. Go back to that story again. Underneath some of the attractions, because that's where it would have been thrown on top of a parking lot. When you look at the story for Chester and Hester, it's really interesting when you start digging. I find it interesting. Sorry.
Claire's favourite topic on Mastermind would be concrete.
That's a great idea. I would absolutely smash that. One of the things that I love is the fibre optics in Epcot and Future World. Now, I'm hoping that they haven't completely destroyed them when they've been doing all the renovation.
I hope not, because I love looking at those, especially at night. It's the only time you can really properly see them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who doesn't love the fibre optic floors?
And the thingy floors in Pandora at Animal Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Luminescent, that's the word I'm looking for. Luminescent paint everywhere.
Yeah. And the thing is, you don't know certain things until you've been there at a different time of day.
Yeah, absolutely. So I haven't been to Pandora in the evening.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But I think that is the thing, though, isn't it? But it completely changes, and even within Magic Kingdom, within the different lands, I know I've spotted some people in the chat talking about their favourite bits in the concrete. Why is it they go to this length? This length to actually get that detailing in, and it's absolutely amazing. Once you actually begin to see, it does take you to that next level, doesn't it? I think Dan had mentioned there about
Andy's footprints. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
just love it.
Yeah. It's,
Oh, do
I
you
think
know
we're
what?
going to spend a lot of next trip just sort of staring at the floor. We apologise if anyone trips over
Yeah.
or bumps
Yeah,
into
we
anyone.
apologise if the vlogs are just all of the floor.
I think
Yeah.
it's just the fact that this is stuff that people don't. The Imagineers don't expect people to notice. So the fact that you do, there's a little bit of smugness going on, but also it's just that little extra bit of detail that the next layer really. And I know that Lou Mongello always talks about the layers of the onion. Well, this is the next layer.
Yeah.
There's loads of people joined us since we last looked, Ben.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look at all these people that are.
Not wanting to be rude, It's like, I think Joe Logan.
Hey,
as well.
yeah, hi Joe.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Yeah, that's cool.
Apologise if we've missed anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. They do have that lovely crisscross, almost looks like a spaceship Earth pattern on the bottom of them, don't they?
Yeah.
Stainless Converse. The cycle tracks in the wet mud on the way to Everest yet.
See, Neil's
I'm not,
notices all of these things. You see,
I'm not on my own here, and I feel absolutely fine about the fact that other people are.
You're vindictive, Claire.
Do you know what? I really was worried about talking about pavement so much of my love for the pavement, but I'm not on my own. I found my people.
Was there any question?
No.
Disney and concrete, two things you wouldn't have thought went together, but they really do.
Yeah, another one that's a favourite of mine is that walk up into the land pavilion as well. Because whereas the land pavilion is meant to look like a volcano, the actual walk up, which is all sort of pebbles and it's all different colours and different sort of, it's just different layers of the earth.
Yeah.
And I just thought, do you know what? Just such a clever idea. And then I think there's one just by the door that's a completely different colour. And I'm not sure it's still got the name on it, but the Imagineer who's responsible for the idea is just like, yeah, come on, you're taking it to the next level, and you're really getting that whole feeling of totally immersing people in your job. And it's just like, it'd have been dead easy to just get like 12 ton of concrete or 12 ton of tarmac and just put that nice path in there.
Yeah,
there we go, done it, and not think about it. And I think that's where this whole sort of subject leads you on to loads and loads of other things that Disney do so well.
Do you think there's more one particular park does it better than the others, or is it all in their own sort of unique way?
No, I think
it's all of them.
They're all unique, and they all do it brilliantly.
Because one I always thought that never used to be as well themed was probably Hollywood Studios.
That's because for a couple of years it was pretty much a building site.
Like how Epcot is now. But yeah. But saying that when they added Galaxy's Edge in and the theming and everything there's so much detail that they put into things.
So one of the things about Galaxy's Edge is the sound, and one of in my notes in front of me is audio, and just the big words audio, because it's not all about what you can see. Sometimes it really is about what you can hear, and you don't notice it. And I know that in Galaxy's Edge, there's lots of sounds of droids and background noise and spaceships going overhead, and you hear the X-wing, and actually it immerses you into that land completely. And I think that it's incredibly clever how the music, the background music for all of these lands, whether that be in the Magic Kingdom, in Hollywood Studios, in Animal Kingdom, how that background music is composed and fit together. How easy is it to walk from Main Street into Adventureland without even noticing that complete change in the musical theming and sound? All of a sudden you hear, oh, hang on, I can hear some drums. What's that about? And you're just going over the bridge, and they're really faint. And then by the time you get near Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse, you are immersed in this Adventureland sound. And it's without going geeky on music, it's really clever in terms of time signature and key and how they've done that, so it doesn't jar in your brain. You don't go, oh, hang on a minute, that doesn't work. It just feels completely seamless. And for that to happen at every transition in every park is mind-blowing.
The one that surprises me is going from Galaxy's Edge into Toy Story Land, because it's such a short walk through, and you think, oh no, you can see it from one land to the next. It's like, as soon as you get there, it's like you can't hear behind you, but you can hear sort of the noise from alien to alien saucers.
Yeah,
so it's just complete.
really clever use of sound barriers as well. It's like physical sound barriers to block noise as well, and placement of speakers. You know, it's so clever. So yeah, Jill, thank you. In Centre Street, you know, halfway up Main Street.
That's in my notes as well. I've got to say,
there's a picture.
One of my
picture.
Somewhere there's a picture. There's a Centre Street with the.
That is one of my most favourite places to sit and watch the world go by, but listening to the music lesson being given.
Yeah.
And it is just something to behold. And again, you go back to Keys to the Kingdom. They just made us sit there and just listen to it, and they explain the reasoning behind it. And it's just like, you know, I'm so aware. I don't want to give spoilers away, but I want people to note down things tonight if they've not heard it or seen it. Go and just the list of things that you want to go and do, because that's the most incredible thing, to just sit and just chill out for 20 minutes in Magic Kingdom and just listen to what's going on. And
it's a place so easy to walk past and just ignore.
Yeah.
It's good to get a coffee or something from the Main Street Bakery and just hang out down there. It's quite nice.
Yeah, I won't
benches down there as well.
Yeah, I won't own up to why we ended up there, but it ended up costing me money because it was outside the old Pandora shop.
Yes, it is.
Say nothing. Move on quickly. If you're a bit tight like John, don't go down Centre Street.
Lady and Tramp, sort of paw prints.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's right. It's just on the pavement, isn't it? I was just thinking about the other things that you hear in the audio is if you walk up the steps in Main Street Station, and obviously the train, is it working again yet? I don't know.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
So as you walk up the steps up to the station, you do hear a strange beeping noise, but that beeping noise is actually the opening day speech from Disneyland in Morse code.
In Morse code, isn't it?
Oh wow!
I didn't know that.
Every day.
I get you to learn things.
Yeah, so it's actually the Morse code version of that opening day speech. So that for me, that's just insane. Why would you do that? Who thought that was a great idea? I love them, whoever they were, but you know, it's so clever to be able to think of doing that.
So subtle as well. You know, I think Maria's talking about Keys to the Kingdom tour and so much information, but actually you come off the tour and you've got so much in your mind. You really could have done with actually being able to write it down or just keep it, because it comes back to you days later. Different stories, different bits of information, and it's really difficult to actually absorb it all on the actual tour itself. And so you then end up, even on nights like tonight, you end up thinking, I know that one, and it's brilliant. So if you've not done Keys to the Kingdom in Magic Kingdom, it's well worth every penny. It really is. We
want to do it. We haven't done it yet, so we're really looking forward to
it. It is fantastic, and I think that, you know, it just, and it's only, you know, you don't do all of Magic Kingdom. It's only a small section of it, and it's only 5 hours, something like that. You get lunch, and
not long enough.
It's worth every penny. No, and I
so John,
you know,
we have to do it twice.
Yeah, it's worth doing.
I think
it's worth doing again.
Maybe we should. Depends
on the cast member.
Friends.
You know, and I think that's the bit there. Yeah, Neil's he's done it twice.
I think it depends on the cast member that you've got, and some will give you some stories, some will give you others. They all have different talents and different knowledge bases. So I think you learn something different every time. And I've done
we did have a comedian turn up on the day that we were doing it, who then, having been snowed out to Washington, trip to Chicago, 24 hours late arriving in Orlando on Christmas, decided, you know, those immortal lines, oh, by the way, Keys to the Kingdom's cancelled today. I will not tell you what I told him back. But if you can imagine the very end of, was it National Lampoon's Vacation?
Was it beat?
Yeah, it's something down that line. And it's
something we're not allowed to say on YouTube.
To happen. Thank you very much. And he thought he was being the biggest comedian known to mankind. He didn't know what we'd been through to actually get there.
Yeah. He did You'd finished with him
Yeah.
though, John.
He did, and actually he was our guide, and he was great all the way around, and he made it so much fun. He really did. You know, that's where the guide really does make it, and it's great. The chat is absolutely on fire tonight. I think this is absolutely.
I know we're not keeping up at all because we're too busy talking about
I
pages.
know.
It's all right. We'll talk about pavements. They can talk amongst themselves. We
No,
are reading them.
We haven't even started on the trash cans.
Concrete to rubbish bins.
I think the other thing as
This
well,
is it.
Claire, I mean, we touched upon it before. We talked about the tangled toilets, and I know the toilets are one of your favourite topics as well as concrete. You know, but even going back to that picture of Storybook Circus, and I have no idea what the ladies' toilets are like at Storybook Circus, but the gents is absolutely fabulous because it's actually got a train track going straight away down the middle, and I just thought they've thought of everything.
Yeah.
You know, and it really does.
That's
it's just
fantastic.
Like just in Thailand, there's 2 train tracks, and I just thought, you know, this is just going beyond what you actually even.
I think that's the thing. Bathrooms aren't really what we'd think about of theming.
But
when you go there, when you think of the ones in Pandora, the ones in
Galaxy's Edge,
very industrial.
So I think that's
so they fit with the area.
Disney Park, it sets Disney parks aside from any other sort of theme park, and even in Marcus, let's not gravel. I'm with you. Other than perhaps the only other ones that I found that were Carlos, nice to see you. Well themed are the ones in Hogsmeade in Islands of Adventure, and I know we don't like talking about that dark place up the road, but the ladies' toilets in Hogsmeade have moaning myrtle in them, so that's quite cool. I just see Maria's comment.
So someone asks you, what do you get up on your Disney holiday? Concrete, toilets, trash cans.
Do you know what? I literally had that conversation with someone at work today when I said, we were doing this tonight, and I'm just like, what? She said, what are you talking about? And I said, mainly concrete, maybe some bins.
Yeah, but the thing is, Claire, you want to take pictures of all of this, right? Now, all the pictures I've ever taken, I don't think I'd get away with taking pictures of the restroom. You know, I think I might get arrested at some point if I did that one. And my family had sort of disowned me if I started taking some of the pictures of the concrete as well. They think I'd actually totally lost the plot altogether.
Maybe when we get back out there, John, what you could do is just leave your phone on record and just record the floor.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
everywhere you go,
live blog of concrete.
I'd watch it. Maybe we should ask someone to do that on a lunch break.
That'd be so much
I'm going to suggest it. Carlos, I might need your help persuading him. The other thing that I like is the cast member the cast member door signs. Now, I think, Ben, I saved one which is near the Tangled toilets. This is my absolute favourite, just because Maximus is my favourite character in Tangled. He's one of my favourite characters of any Disney film. And the signs, which are the door on the doors for cast member only areas, they're all themed to the lands as well. So if you go to Muppet Vision 3D, they're really cleverly signed. Signs are really cleverly themed, and actually they're all in line with the area. So yeah, I quite like those signs as well because they're never just cast only. Other than so,
I can't find it, Claire.
Okay, don't worry. It's a picture of Maximus. It's a picture of Maximus pulling a face, which I love. But you have to go and look.
All I've got is Maximus's shoe.
I'll tell you what, though, talking very briefly of Muppets and the 3D show. Apart from always having to lift the mat to check that the key's under the mat, because I must do.
Yeah, always.
Actually, I was watching a stream last week, and actually, because Pizza Rizzo is on limited number of people in the actual restaurant at the moment, and we were actually taken around every single table, and you've got to see every single part of what was on the wall. And again, I can't explain it within the time constraints tonight, but the next time I go there, I've now got to go, because I love Pizza Rizzo anyway, because there's so many Muppet jokes on the walls in the bits that you can see from where you sit.
Yeah.
But when you start exploring it, some of the jokes walls in there are just absolutely to die for, and they are totally Muppet driven. And I just think, you could just spend an hour probably asking people, telling people, sorry, I'm not looking at you. I'm not looking at your pizza and spoiling your lunch.
I'm just looking at the wall.
What's on the wall, if you don't mind, But and I think that's one of the advantages for people who are able to get there just now. There's some good streams where there's people there. So hey, this is our dream. Hi guys.
Hi Jeff and Angela.
I think one of the other things is that a lot of these little hidden details often are Imagineers having a bit of a joke at guests' expense, which I love. So Ben, somewhere in there is a photo of a wall sign from Festival of the Lion King. So there. So I love this. This sign, everyone ignores it. And it's in the queue, in the fast pass queue to Festival of the Lion King. Obviously, the best show, just saying. Needed to get it in.
You're outvoted tonight.
Yeah. See what I did. But this sign in Swahili, do you know what it means? Means do not lean against the wall.
Oh, I love that. That's brilliant.
And all around it, there are people lounging against
the wall.
And it's repeated along that internal wall. It's so clever. And I love those things. It's like the chessboard in the queue for Pirates of the Caribbean at a stalemate. That's really clever. To go to the detail of lining up the chess pieces so that these two old pirates have died playing chess. Love it.
Anna's on our side.
Thank you.
Right, sorry, John.
She's been paid off.
She hasn't. I didn't even
tell her. So in the comments, if you haven't listened to any of our previous shows, one of us prefers Lion King, one of us prefers Nemo. Well, a lot of us. It's sort of split.
The Wafflers are split 50-50 down the middle.
So please comment your favourite show. Festival of the Lion King or Finding Nemo, the musical.
And back when we
might tally them up.
When that argument first started, Lou decided that Nemo was going to get it. So I think Lou gets casting vote there. So end of argument. Let's move on.
Yeah, we digress.
Yeah, and we're up against the clock because I know fine well we said we're going to keep it to an hour because otherwise we could talk about this this could be a 5-hour show.
Just on concrete.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that's and the thing is that we probably get lots of people watching. Yeah.
Thank you. See, I'm just going to sit here and watch the comments.
Yeah, I am as well. This is good. Finding Nemo.
That's fine.
Okay.
Can you eject people from the chat?
I don't know.
Don't tell
I can put them in timeout.
He'll eject me from the show if he's not careful.
Put them in the sin bin.
I like Valerie's answer.
Thank you, Neil.
Tarzan. Yes. Oh. So the Tarzan show that happened at Disneyland Paris was amazing. That was so good. That was a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
But there we are.
That could be another show. We could talk about shows.
Do you know what? There's just a lot of love for the shows, and we miss them all. So let's hope they all come back as well as Festival of the Lion King. Need a bit of choice.
Definitely.
Need to spread the crowd out a little bit as well.
Yeah.
The other thing that I had down on my list was about the clever nods to historical content. So this is so sad. But in Liberty Square particularly, I know we've talked about the River of Pooh, but there is some really clever details around the house facades. So there are 3 photos that I sent you, Ben. And the first one is... so this has got a number 23 on the door. So it's, the door facade itself is representative of 1823. And then as you go down the street, there are 2 more. And you can see the evolution of the door facades. This is 1824. And then the last one, weirdly, is 1826. I don't know why I didn't take 25, but, and you can see the progress of the door framing and the front of the house and the window above the door and how things evolved over quite a short period of time. So, yeah.
It's 23.
24, 26.
Do you know what?
Getting more elaborate as they go down.
They do. Wow. As you through time, the door changes, and most people would never notice that because it's tucked in that little bit behind Hall of Presidents. That obviously we're all going to.
Is there another part of that? I might be wrong here. This is totally off the top of my head. Is there another part there where the window shutters are all wonky, where they actually remove all of the iron parts so that they can actually make use of them, and they replace them with the leather straps, which then when it got hot, they sagged. There you go. I thought, there we go.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's all an interesting, clever nod to the time progression. And I think the other place you see that really, really well is in Disneyland Paris, in the arcades either side of Main Street. At one end of the arcade, they are gas lamps, and by the time you get to the other end of Main Street, they're electric bulbs. So time passes very quickly along that 100-yard walkway.
Can I chuck another one into the mix as well, Claire? Because I don't think it's not a hidden bit of magic, but it goes perfectly with that whole bit about America and looking at the history of the country, etc. But every single day in Magic Kingdom, they have flag drop.
They do.
And it's the most incredible thing. And actually, I think an awful lot of British people do not know it happens. And it is, to me, it is one of the most incredible things to actually go and see the actual ritual, the actual pride in your flag. And I know we've got a lot of American people watching tonight. That is something that I've said it in the podcast before, but it sends shivers down my spine every time I watch it. It is beautiful. And I would love to see that whole area just sort of filled with people, because loads of people they're too busy going on Space Mountain, too busy thinking about maybe what's for dinner. And at 5 o'clock during the summer, you get a flag drop, and it is beautiful. And I don't know what it is about it. It's just like the whole national anthem part and the whole pride in your country. It really, I don't know. It really sort of hits me hard, and it's one of them ones that I have to go and see it every single time I go to the States.
You know, John, that's something I've never watched. I've missed that. Whether it's just a timing thing, but the flag retreat I've never seen. Because am I right in thinking that's the only correct US flag in the park? Because the others are all slightly wrong, so they can stay up, and that one has to be taken down every night. I'm really sorry, my American friends, if I've got that wrong, but I think
it's
right.
It's spot on that, Claire. But it's and I've got to say, and thanks to the chat people in the chat there. Yeah, I just think it is just incredible, and I don't know. It's just again, it's one of those things that just sets Disney apart, and yet, it's so heartfelt on a day-to-day basis, and you get the Main Street band, and it's just
my goodness, I'd be a mess.
Yeah. I've got goosebumps talking about it. It is
like
so
mascara warning. You'd never get that. It wouldn't happen in the UK, would it?
No.
Can you imagine London Towers or Thorpe Park taking down the Union flag at the end? It's not going to happen, is it?
No. And that's why, I think that is just the whole bit. Mark's there, and it's just like he's saying that about having the veteran that comes on to do it. That really does that's such a big part of what Disney do, and with the Shades of Green and actually allowing that whole part of their military to be recognised as well. I just think, man.
I'd be a mess. But next time I'm there, I'm totally watching it, and I'm going to let you know.
You'll have to just schedule it in. It's one of those things. It's just choose a day and just make sure that you're 5. Yeah.
It's just you've got to do it, guys, because it changes your whole perception of what patriotism is and what it is being proud of your country.
That's incredible, isn't it? So that must be is it the security guards that are doing it up at Disneyland?
Yeah,
because they did that in Orlando, when it was closed for a few months.
That's amazing, isn't it? It's just that it feels, it's so heartfelt, and the intention of honor and respect. It's incredible. So I've got some other things on my list, but I know I've been talking a lot about stuff.
Go on then.
You do your list, and I'll do a couple of mine.
Okay. So
most of my stuffs are probably on your list anyway.
So going back to Liberty Square, we've done the River of Pooh, we've done the House Evolution. There is really interesting, Ben, there is a photo. There is a photo.
I'm ready.
Next slide, please, Ben.
You could be
Claire.
like Christmas.
I need to give you a clip so you can go to the next one.
I do like a laser pointer or something. So there's a photo of it looks like a couple of buggies behind a wooden pole. That's it. So this is really clever.
Buggies behind a wooden
Well,
pole.
It is.
You described it well, Claire.
But do you know what the wooden pole is?
It's like they've just left something there. It shouldn't have been. It just
No, it's a horse hitch, because in the time when Liberty Square was a place, people wouldn't have had cars or buggies. They would have hitched their horse on their way to the shops or to the Hall of Presidents. There we are. I think Boris has more hair than John.
Yeah.
Anna. But yeah, so that's what it is. It's a horse hitch, so that you can hook your horse up and go and get your supplies, or go to the tavern, or go to Liberty Tree and have a couple of beers. So that's what
really
that is.
good.
And
Quite good that they've made it. Quite good they've made it a buggy stop though, because what do kids do in buggies? They ride around in them.
Yeah, but it's really clever. I think the fact that they've actually bothered to put that in when everyone just walks past it. You know, why is that there? It's in the way. I can't get over to the other side of the street because there's a big wooden plank in the way.
I quite like the stocks that they've got up in Liberty Square.
Have you been in those stocks, Becca?
I haven't. No.
Has Ben?
No. I didn't have any tomatoes last time we went. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
I know Neil's been in the chat, and I know he's actually taken a photograph actually through the stocks of the steamboat in the background.
Oh, fantastic!
I don't know. Yeah, I know we can't get it on the show now, but it's an amazing shot. It really is. So again, it's another one to add to the list of things. Great photographs to take when you're at Walt Disney World.
Oh,
so if you're filming concrete, well,
amazing picture.
I think something we haven't mentioned yet are bins, and they're not just used in Epcot as tables.
Festival tables.
Well, festival tables. But in all throughout Magic Kingdom, every land you go into, they're all themed differently. Whether it's in Frontierland, Adventureland, it's just, why did they didn't have to do that. It probably would have been cheaper for them to have them manufactured and then
generic
things.
Yeah.
Is it the same in the other parks as well? Are they all different throughout lands?
Yeah, I think it's all
trying to
so we get nice black British bins in the UK pavilion, and then the prettier ones in
the UK pavilion. They've got chewing gum stuck on the side.
I hope they're authentic. If they're not,
an authentic wheelie bin.
Oh, Maria, see, it's not me that takes photos of these things.
No, it's
okay.
And each of the resorts have their own bin style as well.
Yeah,
they each all have their own. So the Polynesian definitely has the, I don't know what he's called, the little Polynesian dude that sits on the bin.
I was going to say tiki.
Yeah,
God.
and
call him the tiki god.
Okay. But they've all got their own decor, their own. Sort of...
This is a challenge for us, for one of us, to go out there next time we're there and take photos of all the different bins and see if we can get all of them. So
you mean all the styles, not
all
every
the different
bin.
styles.
Oh, yeah.
Every 28 steps.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds like Mark.
We
did miss Push.
I feel like we should have a moment of silence for Push. There we are, we're done.
There we go.
We clap now, Claire. I think that's what we do.
Oh, yeah.
So, for those that never got a chance to meet Push, it's just sort of a robot.
We only saw him once.
Yeah. We didn't know what was going on, but this crowd of people following
They do still have something similar in Disneyland Paris, or they do when they're open in Disneyland Paris, but it's not quite the same. It doesn't really interact in the same way. So John has his own bin in Mexico. I'm just looking through the other things that I've got are actually about Disneyland Paris, and there's something. There was a really cool thing that I found in, and I don't say this often, in the Disney Studios park. So for anyone who hasn't been to Disneyland Paris, the Disneyland park is stunningly beautiful. Disney Studios park, needs a bit of work. It's under refurbishment, or it has been since it was built. But in there is, as you walk down the main, you go through Studio 1, which is like the entrance area, and out the other end, walk towards Tower of Terror. And it's themed very much like Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood Studios. And on the right-hand side, as you walk down, there is a newspaper vending machine, which I don't know if, there we are. So this is like tucked away right beside, you can see it's beside some hoardings. As I said, it's always under refurb. But this is really clever because it's an old fashioned, you don't get these type of newspaper vending machines in the UK. It's not something that we would have. We'd have a small child selling them on the street corner, I expect, in those days. But obviously that you still see them now and again in America. I certainly have. And the newspaper in there is from the Disneyland opening. So it's the Disneyland News, and it's 50,000 people attend Gala Park opening, and the story is all about the opening of Disneyland.
That's really good. I like that.
Nice.
And most people don't even notice that's there because it's sort of in your peripheral vision as you're walking down towards the backlot tour area. I found it probably about 2 or 3 years ago, so having been to Disneyland Paris so many times before that, but I only noticed it recently. So that there are some cool little details that you
after going to DLP, I wouldn't have thought there was anything themed in studios.
Well, that's my point. I was like,
just like
the wrong place.
Yeah.
Apart from the Ratatouille area, that's pretty well themed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but,
that is very well themed.
Yeah.
And the other bits in Disneyland Paris that I had were the train station. All the ironwork around the train station has still got the original monogramming from when Disneyland Paris opened. Of course, when it opened in 1992, it was Euro Disneyland or Euro Disney. So all of the train station monogramming has got EDRR. Now, I did ask a cast member, is that Euro Disneyland Railroad, or is it Elias Disney Railroad? And they didn't know. So I'm still trying to find that one out. I asked a couple.
I think it's probably Euro Disney.
I think it is, but
it'd be nice if it was Elias.
We can start our own new rumor. But yeah, that's all over. And obviously, it's not called that anymore. So they've just left that as it was. And then if you're
money to replace cast iron sort of monogramming like that, wouldn't it? So
you know what? It's been shut for 6 months. They could have done it. And then the one other thing that I think most people miss in Disneyland Paris is stunning, and that is Cinderella's carriage. So this is in Fantasyland, and you can just see, this is the view you get as you walk down the street. You have to look to the right, and it's on that right-hand side down by Auberge de Cendrillon restaurant, and you don't notice that it's there unless you know. So you walk down the street. This is on your right as you come out of the back of the castle. And you can go right up to it, up nice and close. And it is beautiful. It is all gilt in gold. And there is a restaurant there, which usually does character dining, but you don't have to go into the restaurant. So if you're in Fantasyland, have a look for Cinderella's carriage.
We saw it last time we were there.
Yeah. It's one of those things.
Gorgeous carriage.
If you don't know it's there,
out of the way, and it's one of those things.
I actually went down that way to have a look to see what was on the menu at the restaurant.
Oh, do you know what though, Becca? If you go down towards sorry, this is me being helpful, Claire. As you go down towards that carriage, on the right-hand side, there's like a little patio area, and you can stand there and you get some cracking character meet and greets, because that's the back route from where the cast hang out before they walk down to the stage, and all the cast that are performing on the stage have to walk down that pathway. So if you stand there in that patio area, you get to meet all sorts of people on their way to their shows on the way back. The secret spot.
There you go, you see.
Top tips.
All right.
Go on. That's my list. I'm going to stop because I'm
take us back to Walt Disney World, and I know we're up against the clock, so I'm going to hit everyone, and I know, Claire, this is one of your real pet hates, because every time I talk about this, you instantly say, I've never been in the standby queue for Flight of Passage, and I've missed all of that detailing in the queue, because the queue itself for Flight of Passage is worth the wait, even if it's 2 hours, because it changes so much as you go. It's beautiful. It's just the most incredible queue. But I don't know if many people have seen this, and it's actually on the exit, no matter where you come out, and it's on the lowest level of Flight of Passage. and you need. I've told lots of people about this; they still don't believe it's there. But on the wall are these handprints, and so we've got JL, which is John Landau, who is the producer of Avatar. We've got JC, which is James Cameron, director of Avatar, and then we've got JR, which is Joe Rohde, who was the lead Imagineer of Animal Kingdom. And you've got to, again, it's one of those things that if you know that they're there, you will go and seek them out. And I think it does depend on which screen door you actually exit the ride as to whether or not you're too far towards the exit to see it. But if you're one of the very far side of it and you're coming out of the whole ride, it's there and it's worth taking a picture of, because nobody else really notices it. And again, it's just one of them little hidden bits of magic. And I think with Joe Rohde retiring, I think it takes on an even bigger sort of notion of just how monumental a job he did within Animal Kingdom. And I just think that's just a fabulous, fabulous thing to see.
Oh, so I think in us somewhere there's another live Wednesday, Wafflers Wednesday about queue lines.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we might have to.
I think the thing is,
Sorry.
as things have moved on in Disney, when you think of the shaman in Na'vi River Journey, the amount of detail and the animatronic, and it brings me on to the one that I wanted to show was Hondo Anaka. It's just
the attention to
detail that they've had to go to make that animatronic. And you wouldn't, first time we saw it, we thought, do you know what, that's someone in a suit. It's the lifelike movements and everything. It's just imagine what Disney going to do next.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I haven't been to Galaxy's Edge. Sadly, last time we were there was the opening week of Galaxy's Edge, and we chose to go to the opening day of Epcot Food and Wine. I'm sure.
What you did there. That's it.
Galaxy's Edge or wine?
Yeah.
Obviously, a big Star Wars fan that I am, but I sacrificed myself and thought I better go and check out what was going on in Epcot.
There's also, Ben, there's a hidden Millennium Falcon
within
Star Wars Land as well.
There is,
yes.
and that's underneath the Falcon.
That just blew me away. When you're looking at things and you're reading stuff and you're going, do you know, that's taking it totally to the next level. And actually, that's Disney Imagineering having a real laugh.
This is what I love.
The best thing in the queue is you walk around the queue, and just before you go in, you just hear the sounds. Just you're sort of standing behind Millennium Falcon, and all you can hear is like the engines rev up, the lights flash, and it's just amazing.
I just think that the fact that the Imagineers, I know I've said it a couple of times, the detail that is put in, knowing that 99% of guests are going to miss it. And the only people that see it or hear it or recognise it or take stock of it happening are people like us.
Yeah.
And I know that, Disney geeks, Disney nerds, whatever we want to call ourselves, fans, are part. See, it's not just me.
It's not just you.
You noticed? Yeah, we are definitely not alone here.
Do you know something as well, though, Claire? I think even on our last trip, somebody had told me about one of these hidden bits of magic, and it's quite a nice one to compare, because we're talking about Galaxy's Edge. We're looking at how, we're looking at something that's the most brand new attraction, and then somebody told me about something in Carousel of Progress that I'd not actually acknowledged previously, and there's a hidden cat in each scene.
What?
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
Shut up.
And until you're actually told that there's a cat in each scene, you go, no, you're having a laugh.
Oh,
right?
Oh, no.
So quickly, very quickly, the first one, the cat's next to Jimmy. It's an animatronic. We can see that. That's fine, right? Just as Jimmy's sort of doing his ooh la la moment, his dad's shouldn't be sharing that, son. But also the second one is a bit more tricky to see because it's on the left-hand side and it's right next to Granddad's chair. And so it depends where you are in the theatre as to how much of the cat that you actually can see. In the third scene, there's porcelain cats on the wall. And then in the fourth one, the cats with Grandma as she's playing the laser vision game, and I'd never ever seen them before. And it's just once you're told one of these little nuggets, you have to go and see it for yourself. And I hope people tonight, irrespective of whether it's concrete, toilets, bins, anything, but that just to me, it shows from Carousel of Progress right the way up to Galaxy's Edge.
I did not know that.
Just incredible.
That's really frustrating because
Right
we can't
from
go
the
back
beginning.
out there yet until later this year to hunt for the cap.
And I don't expect there's many videos online of the Carousel of Progress.
No, maybe we need to get Jason to go to Carousel of Progress
And find the cat.
and find the cat.
Trying to film something in there or take a picture in there. The guy comes on the tannoy. Please do not. Please do not. Please do not. Take more of that.
Good point.
Video. And it's just like, oh, busted again. Like, you know, it's just
Oh, no.
even with my
So
phone.
Let's still ask him to do it then.
Yeah. I think
Oh, I did not know that. I've missed that whole cat thing. And
I did.
I'm
But it's like the dog in it. There's three dogs, isn't there? There's the dog in Carousel of Progress.
Yeah.
There's a dog in Living with the Land, and there's a dog in Pirates, and they're all
they're all
based
the same
It's
dog.
all the same dog.
all based on Walt's dog.
Yep.
Brilliant. Love the dog.
Yeah, I love that. And I think
So
that's-
for me, I think we've only just started scratching the surface of this conversation, and what we haven't even thought of straying into is hidden Mickeys, and I think that we'll have to have a whole other conversation
on
about
that
hidden
one.
Mickeys. I saw some cheers in the comments about a suggestion of a conversation about queue lines. That sounds like Mike.
Oh, yeah.
That's one to put on the list.
Yeah.
we'll welcome suggestions.
yeah.
If there's anything else particular that you want us to talk about, put it in the comments or just send us a message on our socials and we'll add it to the list.
And if you want us to talk some more about hidden details, we are more than
can
happy
do
to
another
talk
show
about
on them.
Yeah, I think we could do another hour on concrete.
Yeah.
A concrete
it on my
suggestion.
own. I can do that on my own. That's not a problem. I didn't even touch on the World Showcase.
Maybe that could be for our next live show.
Oh yeah.
Did you notice the clever segue?
Sammy, and we rectify that bombshell that she actually dropped on the last January live show. Let's just go to town around World Showcase and let's show Sammy what it's all about. I think someone in the chat
Perfect segue.
mentioned it earlier. So
So that's what we'll do. Our next live show. When's it, Ben? 19th of February.
19th.
19th of February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday, 19th.
December, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go for a Wander Around World Showcase and tell her what she's been missing. That sounds like a really good idea. We could even talk about the drinks.
Oh, now there's a thought.
Definitely make sure to get a list of all the restaurants that sell chicken nuggets as well.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And anyone who is watching who's interested in drinking around World Showcase, I must admit our 1st of February podcast involves similarly using the Skyliner to go drinking and eating. So if you've not listened to that yet, go and check it out because it is really good fun. And I've got to say, there's some drinks there that I really just
Really want to go and try.
I think I just no. I'd struggle to walk. I think if I'd had any of them, but that's about it. And I think we could be here for hours because I've still got a list sort of really long here as well. And I'll keep it for next time, and I'll keep the hidden Mickey's one for next time. Ben,
Definitely.
Yeah. Should we give a shout out to some of our friends in the Disney community?
Oh yeah.
So coming up next at 9 p.m. tonight, so in like 30 seconds time, we've got Mickey Scousers, and you'll find them at youtube.com/Mickey Scousers.
They've also got a new name for their show that they're unveiling tonight, which I've been told about but promised to keep it secret.
Okay.
Because Stephen and I are chatting on a Sunday night on his channel, just all about football. So we're trying to make it Disney chat about football, but we're really, it's just football and Disney.
And on Thursday nights, you've got Carlos and Saturday Night Discussions at 9 p.m. UK time. So that is 4 p.m.
Yeah, that's right.
Eastern time. For their Fast Pass to Fun, so discussion. I think this week's talking about best Walt Disney World buffets. Lots to chat about food. And if you're staying awake, as a few of us do on a Thursday night, At 2 a.m.
Who are
UK
those
time,
guys?
9 p.m. Eastern time, you've got Jason,
Where did you find
Colin,
them?
and Carlos. After Hours Let's Talk Disney.
Don't know them.
And
I wish
never
I could
heard.
stay up,
Yeah.
but I have work Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't know who
Working
they
from
are.
home is also quite good. So, but yeah.
We've also got, was it Dean as well, at
Yes.
the Live Place, which is the home of family-friendly streams. So do go and check that out, because actually the Live Place.
We're on there.
Yeah,
So we're on there. It'll tell you what's going live.
yeah.
If you're unsure what to watch, it's a bit like a TV guide for YouTube.
Yeah.
So you go on there, it tells you what's happening live, and yeah, it's really
Check 'em
great
out.
to be amongst quite a few fellow friends. Not all of them are Disney, but quite a lot of them are.
Yeah. No, it's
So
good.
we've stuck to an hour.
Did well there. Done well there, haven't we?
Yeah. And I think there's more in this conversation. I see people saying yes, please, and definitely hidden Mickeys, which is great. I love that conversation. So I guess all we've got to do is say goodnight, isn't it? We've got lots of friends here still with us, and I'd love to keep chatting. But
do you know something? The chat tonight has been superb, and I think this is I think it's been brilliant. Just having everyone on the same chat, everyone being able to chat to each other as well.
Yeah.
And that's been a real benefit. So yeah, until next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for chatting in the chat, either to us or to each other. And also with all of those hidden details that we seem to notice something different. I've got a list that's going to go on my list for the next trip. And until next Wednesday, because we're back next Wednesday, check out the podcast. Put it in the diary for the 19th. We've got another show with Disney Dan coming up on the 15th. And just keep checking us out on all our socials. We are at GB Mickey Waffle on the socials. Check out the YouTube channel. Until next Wafflers Wednesday. Waffle off.
Waffle on.